Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Thursday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I'm your co-host, Rusty Buckets, flying solo right now. Kenny should be joining any minute now. I texted him 30 minutes ago to hop in because Drew had some work stuff come up, and he said he'd be here. So I'm still counting on him to show up here in just a minute. But in the meantime, you've got my goofy ass here getting y'all started on this Thursday, a winning Thursday, as the Memphis Grizzlies won last night to move to 1-0. We'll deep dive on all that here in a minute. Got a lot to cover on that front. But I had a little bit planned today for the Therapy Thursday that we always start our Thursdays with. And I'm going to do it. Anyway, it was to cheer everybody up. It was a way to kind of brighten the mood just in case last night didn't go very well. But we're still going to talk about it because it's some positive news I think that we all need. Talking positive on the other side of the music seems counterintuitive, but it is what it is. And so I found something perusing the Twitter webs the other day that I thought was interesting. We all know and love Luke Hatmaker on the Daily Grind and his obsession with Garfield the cat and the comics that was. And I grew up always reading the comics in the newspaper, especially on Sundays. My grandmother and I would always fight over them, though we could read them together. Shout out to Mimi there in Corinth. And one of our favorites was the Peanuts. And I found this interesting story where a high school, a preparatory high school, reached out to Charles Schulz, the creator of Peanuts. You know, Charlie Brown and Linus and Snoopy and the Red Baron and the whole story in the newspaper, right? Well, I found where a high school reached out to him in 1966 and said, hey, we are I think they're called the Loyola College Prep School in Shreveport, Louisiana. And they reached out to Charles Schulz and said, hey, our mascot is the Flyers, and we would like to use Snoopy as our mascot. And not only did he approve, but he vehemently approved and enclosed several pictures for them to use. And on their helmets, they have Snoopy as the Red Baron, which I think is one of the best uses of a comic, of a mascot, of a helmet logo. So many of them are getting wilder and wilder these days as people do alternate helmets. But this is their everyday game helmet, which I think is fantastic. It's nice to see, something like this being used. Charles Schulz allowing a high school to use it and couldn't believe the honor that was bestowed upon him. So they wear Snoopy on their helmet every Friday night. They have the image on midfield is the red doghouse that Snoopy stayed in, with Snoopy sitting on top, flying it like the Red Baron as he did in the comics and any of the Peanut shows or movies that we all saw. But some good news seeing Charles Schulz allow this high school in. What a dope helmet with Snoopy as the Red Baron on it. I couldn't like this more. Couldn't like the field logo more. So shout out to Loyola College Prep in Shreveport, Louisiana, for being the Flyers and utilizing Snoopy in such a cool way. But plenty to talk about today. We're not going to get too deep in buffoonery because you got one buffoon instead of two up here so far. So we'll go ahead and dive right into it. We're going to be talking NBA, talking Grizzlies. But first, we've got to address the elephant in the room in this massive scandal that broke in the wee hours of this morning. That's right. For those of you sleeping in this morning, you missed the absolute shitstorm, I guess is the best way to describe it. Sorry, Mom. Shout out Jared in the comments. Maybe Kenny got indicted on money laundering as well. That's why he's not here. I don't know, but we still press on. But this morning, we all woke up to the Shams bombs, the ShamWow, as we call them here on this show, where it was announced that Terry Rozier, formerly in some gambling trouble, was arrested. I don't know that one was much of a shock because it's happened before. Scary Terry's been down that road before. But the big news was a sitting NBA head coach, one Chauncey Billups, was arrested for his participation in an illegal gambling ring. Looks like it was mostly poker, but it's tied to a larger investigation. And I want to play the clip now that I picked up off of X, and then we're going to deep dive in on what that means.
Mostly in the form of prop bets. on individual player performance. The bets were placed through online sports books and also in person at casinos. The defendants relied on a network of straw bettors to place the maximum amount of bets to increase their potential profits. Most of these bets succeeded, and the intended losses were in the millions of dollars. The defendants then laundered their illegal winnings in various ways: peer-to-peer platforms, bank wires, and simple cash exchanges. The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basketball gambling case has been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering.
Yeah, what a wild turn of events this is. So some of the indictments are pretty damning, pretty scary. One of the victims lost over $1.8 million. And it makes you wonder, like, what is this all tied back to? If y'all remember, Gilbert Arenas was arrested earlier this year, and then all charges were dropped. He was let go, walk free man. And we all kind of poked fun at it, but maybe Gilbert was the informant that they've been looking for, because they have found there's been 31 people that have been charged. There is 31 defendants charged with participating in a nationwide scheme to rig illegal poker games under the guise of playing poker with former NBA players, Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones. They were using an X-ray table to read the cards as they were laid face down. They had special glasses and contacts to be able to read marked cards to know what the other people had, and we're just robbing these poor folks blind. It's one thing to be a celebrity making millions of dollars, and then you go rob these poor people of millions of dollars in poker games that are supposed to be fun, charitable events. This whole thing just feels kind of gross. But speaking of Terry Rozier was arrested and charged with allowing or providing illegal information, as y'all saw in the video, for prop bets. Specifically, one game that they mentioned in the indictments was on March 23rd, 2023, where Terry Rozier said that he was going to leave the game early with an injury. And so there was a bunch of people that hopped in and bet the under. Looky here, I told y'all he is off the stand. I told y'all Kenny was coming. He was being pressed by the FBI for information. So Kenny, thanks for hanging out, man.
Well, listen, you texted me earlier and you said, "Hey, I might need you." I'm literally just saw your text and said, "Hey, you're up. Let's go." I was like, "Oh my God, I got to get on the show." I had to fix everything. Everything's all crazy over here, bro. I'm good though. Let's go.
Yeah, man. I listen, we're just talking through the indictment. I played the video that Pear sent us earlier today, and just talking about Scary Terry. On March 23rd, 2023, he said he's going to go out early with an injury. There was more than $200,000 were placed on the unders for Terry, and then he goes out with an injury 9 minutes into the game. And these bets paid out tens of thousands of dollars to several people that were participating from the Italian mob. Like, tell me this doesn't read like a Hollywood movie, Kenny.
Are you surprised? Should I be surprised that the mafia is still around? Like, no. I'm a little bit surprised. Like, I thought it was kind of an old school, like not really around as much anymore. Like, most of the stuff that was illegal back in the day is now legal. Like, what? So what? Like, what are they doing here? But yeah, man, I am still trying to catch up on all of it. It is crazy.
This is going to be wilder than any movie they could make, Jared. It's unbelievable. But what's funny is you see all these tweets, right? Like, shout out Mike Bovis, I guess, Beauvais on Twitter. He tweeted out, the NBA is very concerned about the multiple arrests made as a result of the FBI sports gambling code. Use code multiple arrests for 30% profit boost on a 3-leg parlay with DraftKings, the official gambling part of the NBA. And so, like, that's what this is. Like, the NBA is in a really weird spot. Adam Silver is definitely kind of feet to the fire here, see what he's going to do. David Stern would have been retiring folks by now. Like he did with Michael Jordan back in the day. Scary Terry would be in the Caribbean. Chauncey Billups would be in the Caribbean. And I don't know that word of this would have ever got out. But instead, it kept going on. The lid is blown off. And this thing is going to get really gnarly before it's all said and done, because there's been 30 people arrested, 13 members of the La Cosa Nostra, the Italian mafia, and it expanded across years, across 11 states. So this is a massive, massive thing. And I don't think we fully appreciate, in the shock of everything, how big of a story this is going to end up being.
I mean, it is such a wild juxtaposition of like news reports, because even yesterday I got a ESPN notification that said college coaches and college players are now allowed to bet on pro sports.
Yep.
And then the next day is everybody's getting arrested for betting on pro sports.
Yeah.
Like, it is, sports gambling is it's still a wild, wild west out there. I think that there's regulations and things that are in place. Obviously, you see what's going on today with all the, the federal indictments and things like that. But it is such a wild environment to, like, who can bet, when can they bet, how can they bet, those kinds of things. Like, it is. I am really interested to see how deep this goes. Right? Like
what Jared just said. Yeah.
Yeah, like, how deep does this go in terms of, like, are there really, like, how many players are involved? Like, how many coaches are involved in this? Like, is this something that is, like, and what does this do to the game that we just want to enjoy? Like, we just want to enjoy. Is any of it, like, this is where my conspiracy brain comes in. Is any of it real? You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely, man. When this thing's been going on for 4 years, over $7 million was lost across the span of this investigation. Like, this is a federal indictment. These are the alphabet boys. This isn't just like, this isn't Shelby County Sheriff, right? This is like the head of the FBI had a press conference today about it. Like, this is a massive deal that's going to change the landscape of sports. And I'm curious, like you and Jared said, how deep this thing goes, and then what is the long-lasting repercussions. But there's so much marrying of sports and sports gambling. We work with FanDuel all the time, love FanDuel, super happy to be a part of that network. I gave them some money last night because Jared decided to foul out, but that's neither here nor there. But, like, what is this going to look like as we continue down this road? Like, what is there going to be a separation of church and state again, where you've got sports and gambling that are separate, or is this thing just too deeply enmeshed and too much money going on to change anything?
The problem is it's not inherently that sports gambling is wrong. It's clearly, if we thought that, we wouldn't be involved with FanDuel, right? Like,
right. And it's not.
And it's not. Like, sports gambling is a fabric. It's a part of sports and culture, and it's been that way forever. The difference is, the big part is instead of being distracted by the idea of, is sports gambling bad or not, it's who's sports betting, like, how are they doing it, and what kind of impact are they having? Like, like a Terry Rozier saying, I'm this amount of money on the unders on his prop bets, and then going out with an injury within 9 minutes of a game is, and I'm sure there's countless, other examples of that. You see Jonte Porter forced, right? Like, you see a bunch of these guys, and you're just like, that's where the regulatory thing needs to come into play. Like, how are they going to be able to, like, regulate the players that make money playing the game, that have a specific hand, the coaches that have a specific hand in these lines and these bets and these parlays and all these different kinds of things being put out there? How are you going to be able to keep the integrity of the actual match safe from that that desire for that quick money of, man, I can just sit out the rest of this game and I can make
extra money. I mean, that's it. Real quick, Shams Charania just tweeted out, I mean, the most obvious tweet he's ever made, that Portland's Chauncey Billups and Miami's Terry Rozier have been placed on immediate leave by the NBA. I mean, kind of obvious. But, like, this is it. Just like Kip said here, like, you got all that stuff to bet on. Don't bet on your own sport, bro, because, like, they're going to want to bet. Like, people bet. It's fun. It's a fun way to make sports interesting. But this is a multi-billion dollar industry that these people are directly, like, these athletes are directly responsible for the outcome. And you and me hitting on bets, Kenny, And so what is it going to look like going forward? How are we going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the tube with allowing athletes to bet? Because I think they should be able to bet, but how can we protect the sanctity of the game that they're playing to where we know they're giving their best effort. They're not ducking out with the injuries. They're not doing these things to throw lines, because we've had it with an NBA ref, and now we're kind of seeing it come back with NBA players. It's a scary situation for a game that we all love and enjoy. And because last night was so much fun, right? Like watching our team play.
Yeah.
But if you're betting millions and millions, not that I have millions to bet, but we as a collective you, like betting millions of dollars on these games, there's got to be some kind of protection to make sure that we're not throwing games and throwing bets. Shout out Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Well, this feels deeper than even just that. It feels, especially with the mafia and the organized crime being involved in it, you have to wonder, like, what is, I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of it. Like, this goes like, was Terry Rozier, were Chauncey, and help me understand this. Chauncey was not arrested for betting on the sports, right? He was arrested in the poker gambling ring, right?
It was an overlapping investigation, but they were separate charges. There was two different investigations, and I thought this was funny. So there was here it is. So there's a Operation Nothing But Net was the gambling investigation on the games,
right? While
the poker investigation is called Operation Royal Flush. So they were a joint investigation, but separate charges.
Okay, man. The fact that the mafia is involved in this, the fact that La Cosa Nostra is involved in this is wild. It doesn't take much for me to wrap my head around the idea of a group of guys getting together, one of them being the NBA ball player, and saying, "Hey, listen, let's all make some extra cash here. Here's my prop bets. It's just 1 game, 2 games, 3 games. I'm going to sit out, bet my props and bet under on my props, and we'll make some extra cash for my guys, right? Or for myself, whoever it may be." But the fact that the mafia is involved in this is like, bro,
deep.
Like that is deep, man, deep cut. And it's like, how are the connections made? Like, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. You're from Memphis, Tennessee. You're from North Mississippi. Like, when have you ever been in touch with a mafia member? Like, have you ever come into touch with one? Like, where do you find those guys? Like,
funny enough, I have just north of Corinth. There's this whole book called Ghost Tales: The State Line Mob. And there was all these shady characters involved with the Buford Pusser story. Everybody's seen Walking Tall with The Rock and that old movie and stuff. That happened just across the state line from Corinth, Adamsville, Mickey, Selmer, Tennessee.
Okay, yeah.
You can't drive anywhere over there. You drive through Adamsville. I drove through there last week for work, and there's a big sign, home of Buford Pusser. And a lot of those people were still around when I was a kid. And so we met some people in and around Corinth. But yeah, so it's called the State Line Mob, and it was a direct part of some of the coastal mafia along the coast of Mississippi that came up and set up just north of Corinth, Mississippi. So I know where you could find some. It's a great story, great read, but this is just like, and the gravity of a sitting NBA head coach to be arrested.
God. That is
like, this is unprecedented. Like, this is one of the, like, again, I don't think this happened at 7:00 this morning. My tea kettle hadn't even gone off yet to pour the water on my coffee to do my French press. So like, I'm still wrapping my head around it. But the gravity of a sitting NBA head coach being arrested in an illegal gambling investigation. Now, again, it's separate from betting on games. It's one of the wildest things.
It's the craziest part. Like, I mean, you get Terry Rozier, you get Jonte Porter, you go, okay, that's fine. The two craziest parts of this entire thing, and I still don't know if they're connected or not. It doesn't sound like they are, but Gilbert Arenas being in touch with the Russian mob and getting arrested for that. And then Chauncey Billups, a sitting head coach, being arrested and now being placed on leave. Like, the ramifications and the ripple effects that are going to happen because of Chauncey Billups being arrested as a sitting head coach for the Portland Trailblazers.
A guy that we wanted in Memphis. Like, I advocated for him in some group chats. Like, I'd have been tickled to death if we'd gotten Chauncey Billups, when Taylor got fired. And now he's going to be sitting in a federal prison.
Hey, apparently we got a Mafia member in this chat.
King Meeks be talking wild, man.
King
Ain't no
Meeks is
telling
a
who he
wild boy. I
He's
don't
a
know.
wild dude, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might be
he's
him.
talking about.
It might be him. But
Is there such a
that's
thing
enough.
as the Australian mob? Is there an Australian
absolutely.
mob?
Yeah,
Okay.
they have kangaroos and dingoes that they send out on assignment to murder people. You just wake up in the middle of the night and there's a kangaroo in your bedroom, and it's a wrap for you.
I mean, there'd be nothing less surprising to me than if Wayno was a part of the mob. Just be honest.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, don't forget the Great Emu War where they had to fight the emus over there. So you got the emu mob, stand up, represent. But that's enough of the tomfoolery and of NBA sports gambling. Kenny, we had us a ball game last night, brother. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Hold on.
Add you to all these now because I don't have you in the scene because you're late.
That's my fault. This is all
Kenny
me.
hops on and off. Y'all don't yell at me. Yell at Kenny.
Because
I'm not wrestling with StreamYard anymore.
He said we ride at noon.
Are you in the pouch or you riding like a horse? Because I need Wayno in a pouch. There's your next art. Wayno, I need a picture of you in a pouch of a kangaroo going to war. That's what we need. But the Memphis Grizzlies got a massive opening night win after an abysmal first quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but the Memphis Grizzlies made halftime adjustments that actually worked, Kenny. That game we lose last year. 1,000% we lose that game last year because you have a closing lineup that includes Jake LaRavia, John Conchar, and PJ Hall to close out that stupid game if Taylor Jenkins was still coaching this game. But instead, we get Tomas Isolo trusting a rookie in Cedric Coward who played an amazing game. We'll get to all that here in a minute. But 10,000-foot view, we were resilient.
Yep.
We showed backbone and we fought last night. And if nothing else, that is night and day different than last year.
Man, let me tell you, John Moran is still that dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can sit here. Listen, I am full. I've been on a lot of shows and I've said this on multiple different platforms. This is John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s team now. And it is time to allow them to, even with all the injuries to the ancillary players, let's not worry about going and getting ancillary players to fulfill those roles. Give the ball to John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. Give the ball to them. Ride with your guys. And there is a level of, I think we should put out the edict, moving forward for next year. We're not going to overreact or underreact to preseason stuff anymore. Let's just be chill about the preseason because it was clear last night, and you can put part of it on the fact that John Morant was back out there on the floor because everything changes when John Morant is playing. Everything.
1,000%. And if you watch the $2 Sports Show, I was telling y'all that all preseason. It doesn't matter. John Morant's and Jaren's not playing. It doesn't matter. Ja's not playing. What happened last night? Ja played. It mattered, and we won. We called 12. There was a dial tone. He had 35 points, 13 of 20. He had scored with 12 in the third quarter when we were making that big comeback. Finished with 3 boards, 3 assists, but he was Ja Morant. Maggie and I were just laughing at some of those layups because they were just ridiculous. I have a hard time believing that me and my handsome co-host today, Kenny Stubblefield, are the same species as Ja Morant.
No, we're
because
not.
Watching him do some of those pirouettes where he gets knocked off balance, lands on one foot, goes high off the glass for 2, just an insane performance by John Morant, who is the mayor of New Orleans and owns the Zion rivalry for sure.
He absolutely does. For me, John Morant, it even goes deeper than just what he does on the court. Mm-hmm. There's a level of gravity that John Morant brings to the occasion when oh shit, this is real. It's go time now. There's a reason you call them, and the phrase alphas have been taken over by lames for a couple of years now. So that's kind of a played out word. But there are in sports, and you've played sports, I've played sports. Wayno's definitely not played sports.
He played cricket.
Oh, he played cricket, not a sport.
Played with crickets, not the sport. But with
that's
crickets.
Right. Magnifying glass, and he was
in the jars.
The jars, yeah, right. But you understand, when your best player, when the such a weird phrase, but when the North Star of your franchise is out there, the level of gravity changes for your entire the entire game, the entire team. you play better. You play with more intensity. Your coaching is different. Everything is different. The fans are more engaged. There is so much that changes when he's out there, and that's what makes him special. That's what makes him special. You saw it last night. Like you saw that first quarter. You saw the second, the latter part or the first part of the second quarter, and you're just like, okay, there's still some of those preseason, coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, dude, when it's go time, it was.
Oh man,
he went on.
And he did. And we called Ja in the fourth quarter, and it was a wrap. In the third quarter, Jared points out here, Ja, Jaren, and KCP combined for 31 points in that third quarter. Let's talk about Jaren for a minute. Our guy, got to give credit where credit's due. We have got one of the best in the business, Mr. Paris Sharkey, that goes in. He gets us inside access. Shout out to P Shark. I reached out to him this morning, asked if I could borrow some, if he had any more videos. He posted the one of Tumas taking a pot shot at Taylor Jenkins that Jared referenced earlier.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
He said we don't foul out our own players. We trusted Jaren. We let him play. We don't foul out our own players.
I love it.
But bear with me. Let me get these videos changed out, and
Mostly
let me get Kenny on the stage, because once again, being late. But let's hear straight from Jaren last night. We'll spend a few minutes talking about Jaren.
Building trust is a two-way street. For you as a player, what does it mean to you when you got 3 fouls and then you had 4 fouls and your coach trusts you to be in the game as much as you get in those situations?
Yeah, I mean he's not a new coach to me. I had him all last year, so we build trust. We build trust in a lot of ways. I think you build every game and every practice. So I appreciate it.
And I appreciate him leaving Jaren out there, but we've got to see here two sides to this coin. I appreciate the trust in letting Jaren foul himself out of the game. And I like him fouling out of the game because we allowed him to get out there and feel the gravity of him fouling out for this team. We needed every bit of John Jaren in that third and fourth quarter. And Tumas left him out there to sink or swim. Now, he got 18, 8, and 6. He had 18 points, 8 boards, and 6 blocks, Kenny. But he allowed him to play through trouble. And a lot of Jaren's fouls, like probably 3 of them were goofy, knuckleheaded, dumb fouls that he always does. And then 3 were aggression fouls on offense. Probably 2 offensive fouls were really aggression fouls, which I'll take an aggressive Jaren all day long.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate, listen, I appreciate what Coach Isolo said. I appreciate what Jaren said. But I also, let's not do that anymore, Jaren. Yeah. Let's
for real.
Let's not have to not foul you out. Hey, be aggressive, but let's not pick up the goofy shit. Let's stop with that.
Please.
Let's chill out with the goofy stuff. And 3 in the, he had, what was it? I was just for full disclosure, I was at my daughter's volleyball team banquet, end of the year team banquet last night in the middle of the game. So I didn't get to see a lot of the first 3.5 quarters. I got home with 7 minutes left in the fourth. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter, right? Is that the case? Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. One of the biggest things that'll help, Kenny, watching this uber athletic, elite level NBA player not know how to properly set a screen makes my brain hurt, because every time he comes up with his hands like this to set a screen,
it's
and it's like, brother, watch everybody else. Their hands are down in front of them. They're by their side. If your hands are up like this, that's a check, and you're going to get a hand check call every single time. And so, it was him being dumb, and I appreciate Tumas letting him be out there be dumb, because what we got in the third quarter, as Jaren pointed out here, 9 points, 5 blocks in the third, all with 4 fouls. That he picked up his last 2 in the fourth quarter. But dominance, they didn't have anything for him last night when he in that third quarter. And once again, Jaren set the table for Ja to finish the deal for us.
Isn't that what we have come to expect with Jaren? Jaren is his own worst enemy when it comes to not being able to play, not being able to be out there on the floor, having to kind of, I guess, hold himself back defensively at times because he can't be aggressive in the third and fourth quarters. What's frustrating to me is exactly what you're saying. Hey, listen, just FYI, Rusty and I are big white dudes. When we played basketball, that was our game. We were shooters, and we were screeners for the best players on our teams. So I grew up setting screens.
Absolutely.
And what I've come to realize about setting screens, Rusty, is and this is what it just needs to be pumped into Jaren. Like, hey, bro,
Mm-hmm.
you don't actually have to like stop the dude from moving or push him off his path. You just have to like create a little bit of separation for your guard. Because guess what? These NBA guards are so freaking talented. They need this amount of space and it's over. Like, that's what your role is. And so even if like what I would say to Jaren is when you go and set a screen, just stand there and let your guard do the work. Like,
that's what the best screeners do. Go watch Domantas Sabonis or Steven Adams set screens. They just stand still and let a guy like Ja Morant, who's an uber athlete, like you said, hit the gas and leave these guys in the dust.
Right. That's all it takes.
Jeremiah Fears, like I was kind of down on him. He had an amazing game. That dude is lightning fast, lightning in a bottle. But Ja Morant was dusting his ass last night. Could not keep up with him for anything.
And not to go off subject here, but at the end of the game when Ja hit that little spin on him and then pointed, fired, bro.
Come on, bro.
Fired.
Real quick, we are going to go back to that. Shout out Ninja DJ. Everybody in the comments are popping off. Y'all, if you're on X, come on over to YouTube. Hang out with us. We're talking ball, talking the Grizzlies. We want to hear y'all's opinions. We want to know what y'all thought about the game last night.
Yep.
But Ninja DJ's right. Ja Morant, that little midi just inside the free throw line, Kenny, he had like 5 or 6 of those, maybe 7 and a lot of them in the second half. Like if that continues to develop for Ja with his ability to attack the rim, keeping defenses honest, he will score dozens of points in the mid-range every single game because they have to respect his ability to finish at the rim.
I can't think of a more devastating play in for the Grizzlies than a Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. pick where Jaren stands at the 3-point line, sets a screen, stands there. Once the defensive players disengage from him, he moves, he either rolls or he pops. And Ja getting that defensive player on his back and then just stopping and popping like a mid-range floater. Like that's
what SGA does.
That is a devastating play. I've had the pleasure, and I did this yesterday and got yelled at in Anthony's show for doing it in the comment section. I've had the pleasure for 2 seasons of sitting down with Brevin Knight to record the Night Court podcast with him and to hear him talk basketball. And I cannot tell you how many countless times I have heard him on air, off air, whatever, say it. If Ja Morant can pick up a mid-range game, he's unguardable. Like,
absolutely.
Like we've talked a lot about Ja Morant and his ability to shoot long-range 3-pointers, all that kind of stuff. He'll probably be like a Jason Kidd type when later on in his career can start to shoot the ball pretty well because that's just what they do. But if he can get a mid-range floater in his game, consistently in his game, he becomes unguardable. And that's coming from a former NBA point guard who doesn't necessarily throw those kinds of who is a defensive specialist.
Exactly.
Who in his brain is always constantly thinking about, and I'm talking about Brevin Knight right now, constantly thinking about like there's not a single player that I can't guard. I could always find a way to stop a dude. This former defensive specialist NBA backup point guard is saying if Ja Morant can get a floater, he's unguardable. There's nothing anybody, not even myself in my prime, could touch him defensively.
If he can figure out watching Jalen Wells, and he hit it a couple times last night, that little decel step where he's like full speed decels and goes straight up. Jalen can hit that all day. If Ja can learn that from Jalen, I mean, again, MVP seasons, like unguardable because of his athleticism and his ability to get to the rim. It'll keep defenses honest. So then you're going in the lane, you hit like a little hezzy with your head, you get a guy to jump out of the gym, you get a foul finished and one at the rim. Like it's unguardable for a guy that is already damn near unguardable.
Damn near unguardable at this point.
As is.
Not a whole lot you could do with Ja Morant. You add that to the game and it's unfair. You know,
but let's button up Jaren because I do want to get to KCP next because I got some thoughts about KCP. But Jaren led the team in blocks and rebounds for the haters out there with 8 boards last night. Just you love to see it.
He's a rebounder.
Hey, how about that? He's back. And then I did want to throw this one up too. Shout out Michelangelo. Jaren's definitely a work in progress. He needs to learn screens first, like I talked about. Keep your hands down. But he just hasn't done them. Taylor Jenkins never used him as a screener because if we can develop a 2-man pick and roll, pick and pop game, like you said, with Jaren and Ja, there's I'm hammering the over on FanDuel. 39.5 on FanDuel is getting hammered. And I'll tell you about my parlay I said here just a little while. We talk about the rest of the NBA. But like that will be devastating because it'll open up lanes for Ty Jerome. It'll open up shots for Ty Jerome, KCP, Zach Edey in the middle. A two-man pick and pop game with Jaren and Ja, because Jaren's never really learned that, Kenny, takes this team to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm frustrated with the fact that Jaren's never learned how to set screens, and I don't blame Taylor Jenkins for that. That's something you learn way early on.
I'm looking at you, Tom Izzo.
I'm looking at you, Tom Izzo. I'm looking at you, Jaren Jackson Sr. Like
exactly.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Kenny, I learned that in little league basketball. When I was the biggest kid, the tallest kid on the team, they taught me how to set screens in the 5th grade, and was like, this is how you make a living, is setting screens, rebounding, blocking shots. I'm like, cool, I could do that.
To me, and I'll harp on this because I'm like Steven Adams in this. I love setting screens. Like, it's a lot of fun. There's not much more enjoyable to me than setting a screen on somebody and creating a mismatch. Like, that's what basketball is all about.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy that part. I enjoy like getting physical like that. Jaren, be patient. Just be patient with the screen. Like, don't move too quickly. Set, go, set, wait, and then go. Like that. That is the only thing that needs it. Just be patient with it, man. Just enjoy it. Take the aggression, take the bump, take the hit, hold, and go. Like, that's it.
Yep. He gets excited. That's what it is. He
gets excited. He gets impatient. He wants to move. He wants to go. Like, just be patient.
Well, we've talked about Ja. We've talked about Jaren. I want to get to my favorite player of the game last night. And I'll tell you a lot why. One, Kenny. Not my Kenny that I got on screen, or not Kenny Stubblefield, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Shout out to Parrish once again. If you're not following him on X, find _P Shark on X. He's in the locker rooms.
The best in the game.
Absolutely. Getting us footage like this. Listen, KCP is a soft-spoken guy, so you got to listen. But I want to talk about KCP on the other side of this little interview.
First half you've ever played, where you drill that 3 to put you guys up 4 in the third quarter. You're pretty fired up. How good did that one feel?
Just felt good just to see it go through. You know, like you said, didn't see it go through the first half, but the second half you kind of stayed with it. Continue to shoot the ball when I'm open. Just play defense. It worked out for me.
The thing with Jordan Poole that happened.
He used his flop. As he had no call, he did all the antics. So I just kind of put my hand on his waist, and he just kind of fell.
Kenny, this game went back and forth. They had a 10-point lead, and you guys had a 10-point lead. But to close it out the way you guys did and make the plays that were necessary at the end, just talk about the growth that you saw.
Yeah. I mean, we worked on it in practice. You know, where it started training camp, in the quarter games, like being in situations where we think we might be in. Just doing all that in practice has prepared us for these moments.
Kenny, what's the one thing that we've been asking for the last 2 seasons for this team?
A veteran that plays basketball.
A veteran that plays basketball and an adult in the room.
There you go.
We have an adult in the room. It is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. On the court last night, he led the team in minutes with 31. He was out there hustling. He was grinding. He was getting rebounds. His shot wasn't falling in the beginning, but he was defending his ass off on Jordan Poole and Trey Murphy and all these guys, even on Zion. And he got some decent stops with Zion. He was hustling last night. He had an edge. That interaction with Jordan Poole, I freaking love.
Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video? Can I show it?
Yeah, if you've got it, man, let's play it. Get your flopping ass up. Let's go.
All right. There are some not safe for work language in it, but hey,
that's
bro,
fine.
Be an adult. Here we go.
Mama, plug your ears.
Flopping ass.
That's the flop.
Memphis garbage ass.
Jordan Poole acting hard.
Watch him back away.
Yeah, as he's walking away. KCP standing there like, what's up?
Look at Trey Murphy.
Yeah. the best one, Insane talked about this, is watch Zion's face. He's like looking at him like, can you actually fight? Or like, what's going on here? And then right back to business. But like, that's what we needed. He is the adult in the room. He is the savvy vet who is productive, but can lead this team. Somebody said earlier, he's the best we've had since Jay Crowder, is Ninja DJ. Shout out Ninja DJ for it being in my notes. But he's the first adult we've had since Jay Crowder, because Steven Adams tried it, but they didn't really listen to Steve-O, on that West Coast road trip where everything went so sour that season. Yep. But KCP is leading with his words, with his actions, with his effort on the court. He brings an edge, Kenny. That is leadership. And that's what this team has been missing. And not only that, but he's still a competent basketball player and is going to have a bounce back season. Like KCP is the guy that, like, and we've all wanted him on this network for several years now. Yeah. Drew and I, you can go back to the early days of the Two Buck Sports podcast before we joined Bluff City Media, where we were begging for a guy like KCP on this team because he plays defense with an edge. He's a shooter, but now he's that savvy vet in his 15th, 16th, or 12th season in the NBA. And like, this is what this team needed. And so my favorite player last night was KCP for what he brought from a leadership standpoint.
Hey, listen, 2 of 8 for field goals, not a high volume shooting night. 2 for 7 from 3-point. Most of his shots were 3-pointers. He was 9 for 9 and led the team in free throws last night. Like, come on, man. Like, shot 100%, obviously, but led the team in free throws. Played hard defense, hustled, got rebounds, filled the stat line. I legitimately am super excited about what Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is going to do for this team this year.
Yeah, he's a grown-up, and there was a couple times he turned the ball over, and like you could see him like self-chastise, like he got onto himself out loud when he made a couple turnovers. And that's leadership. You screwed up, you get on yourself, and then you sprint back down and play defense, which he did all night. We'll talk about the bench as we wrap up our Grizz conversation. But like two other players that I really wanted to highlight, and 3, I didn't put him on here, but Jalen Wells was 4 of 8 from 3 last night. 4 of 8 from the field. Shot 50% from the floor, 14 points, plus 11. Kenny, 4 assists. Like, we were talking all off season. We got to replace Desmond Bane in the aggregate, right? Like, you got to get production from Ty Jerome and KCP to fill up the stat sheet. Brother, Jalen Wells went 50% from 3 last night. 4 of 8. Now, again, you're not going to shoot 50% every night, but I am okay with Jalen Wells taking 8 3-pointers every single night with the way that shot looks and the way it's going down. Like, we're talking Cedric Coward. We're going to talk about him here in a minute because we got something there. Guys, we got something in Jalen Wells for sure.
Yeah, listen, we've all been excited about Jalen Wells. I think even in the world-famous Bluff City Media Bloodline chat, we were talking about Jalen Wells and Desmond Bane today. Man, I think we're good, bro. I think we're good.
We got Desmond Bane at home. Thanks.
I think we're
Appreciate
good.
It.
I think we're going to be all right. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and then just to kind of further it along, Cedric Coward, man. Like, what more can you say about a rook closing the game out? I saw on X a couple of times. I love the Jaren, Jalen, Ja, and Cedric. Jaren, Jalen, Ja, Cedric, KCP closeout lineup that we had. Love it. Like, you put KCP or Cedric at the 4, KCP at the 3. You've got Jaren at the 5. That's a lineup of death. That is athletic as hell. That is defense. Good luck scoring on that. And then you got Ja and Jaren in the 2-man game to close out games. Like, come on, bro. Cedric Coward finished plus 24 on the night. 14 points, 3 boards, 3 assists in his first ever NBA real game start, and found himself on the floor for the entirety of the back half of the fourth quarter, Kenny. Like, I don't know that we've said enough about how good Cedric's going to be for this team. It's one game. It's early. I'm not making the Kawhi or Michael Jordan comparison. Don't hear that. But a rookie with that high of an IQ, because we've watched Gigi, who I've been in the corner of for so long, basketball IQ, has the same basketball IQ as a sweet potato. But then you watch Cedric Coward last night making smart plays, smart defensive plays, being in the right position on offense to make passes and get rebounds. Like, it's nice to have a rookie with a high basketball IQ in back-to-back years. Jalen last year and then Cedric this year. That dude has got a future on this team.
Yeah, DJ says this, and I love it. His energy was tangible the entire game, and I completely, from what I saw, I completely agree. That's the unique part about rookies is I don't necessarily get too concerned early on with what their production stat wise looks like. I'm not really necessarily that concerned about it. What I'm concerned about is the level of aggression, the level of the IQ that you've talked about, the like how, like, just basically your energy on the floor. Like, what are you able to provide energy wise? Are you a detriment when you come out there? Does the energy get sucked out of the lineup because they're waiting for you to mess up, or not even that, you're waiting for yourself to mess up? Like, what is the energy that you bring to the table?
Yeah.
And that has been, I think, something that's unique about Cedric that I think has intrigued me the most, even during the preseason, is you see the level of energy that he brings to the floor every time he's out there. There is there's no loss in motor ever in his game. Like, he's consistently rolling, consistently going
on both ends
of the floor. Defensively, he's already a competent NBA defender. And that's saying
100%.
a lot for a rookie. I've said this numerous times. If Cedric Coward hits, everything changes for this Grizzly season. Everything.
The timeline is right on time. And I'm going to make a comparison here. So walk with me for a minute, Kenny. There's no secret who my favorite, like, everybody has that one player who wasn't really good, who didn't really contribute a ton, but it's just like your dude, right?
Right.
And for the Grizzlies, for me, it's JaMychal Green.
Yeah.
Cedric Coward brings a level of energy like JaMychal Green did back in the day when we were in the mud with people. And then when J-Mike came on the floor, it was all gas.
Yeah.
And we've got two of those. We've got Cedric Coward and we've got Omax. Omax is lightning in a bottle. That dude is raw. That dude has a lot of growth to come. But, like, if Omax might be our next BC, I'll get to that here in a minute. I want that to happen. But let's see what happens first. We got a long way to go. It's a long season. But if Omax can become our next Brandon Clark with the hustle plays, with the effort, with the energy, like a JaMychal Green used to do, where it's like, hey, we don't need you to go get 20 points. Now, Cedric Coward's going to be different. Like, I'm comparing Cedric and J-Mike for the energy only. But if Omax can be a JaMychal Green, who's another guy that comes in and injects energy in the game, he had 10 points last night. He had 5 boards. He only had 2 fouls, no turnovers. Like, if you can get a guy like that, if he does that night in and night out, where he comes out, he plays his tail off, 10 points, 5 rebounds is all you ask from him, that's our new Brandon Clark, and a guy that the fans will absolutely love.
Yeah, and the title of this episode is Game 1 Reaction, and I want us to and the people that are watching the show, that are engaging in the show, to not go overboard with our reactions towards what Game 1 looked like.
Exactly.
My concern and what before we start making assumptions about what Omax will look like in game 80 compared to game 1 is this game against New Orleans was a team. We were lucky in that we played a team that's pretty undisciplined and pretty chaotic, kind of like the way that the Grizzlies are chaotic. Yeah. I would say there's a level of discipline that is being brought to the table by the Grizzlies that the New Orleans Pelicans don't have, which is what I think ultimately led the Grizzlies to win that game last night, was the discipline that they showed. But there's going to be games that they play where they're going to have to be, that other teams will not allow them to descend into chaos. And I think that is where we're going to really have to see, like, what all this looks like with Omax, with whoever it may be, these guys that bring consistent energy, and crazy amounts of chaos. I love what I've seen in Omax, what I've seen so far. What does his role look like moving forward? I don't know yet. It's been one game, right? Like,
well, this is a professional segue to what I was going to bring up next. You're going to go off the screen. Bear with me. I got to add Kenny back on. But here on the Two Buck Sports Show, we're going to do a Beale Street heat check. We're 10 games at a time. We're going to look at our record for those 10 games. We're 1-0 right now, Kenny. And I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to keep going on that same point, but it ties directly into this, to where it's one game. It's the game in a stretch of 10. And we're going to have 8 stretches of 10 plus 2 extra games to analyze and watch throughout the rest of this year.
Well, I think Drew said he wants to go 11 for the first time because it's the back end. It's the final game of a homestand. The 11th game is the final game of a 3 or 4 game homestand. So he told me yesterday it's going to be 11 games. The first heat check will be 11.
That's fine.
games.
That's fine. But your Beale Street heat check sits at 1-0, and I think that the temperature is heading in the right direction. Now, after the first 16 minutes last night, I would say, look, it was not going very well at all. And so that's what it's fun to sit back and say the things we're saying, right? Like, Omax is our next Brandon Clark. Cedric Howard's going to be a contributor in the playoffs and all these fun things. And those all things may be true. We've talked about all the good things, Skinny. Let's get to the bad side of it now. That was an abysmal start. We started out so flat, so lost. We could do nothing. Now, New Orleans was hot from beyond 3, but stop me if you've heard this before. A team gets hot onto the perimeter against the Grizzlies, right? Because we've struggled with that for so long.
Right.
But 17 turnovers. Now, we buttoned it up late, but that second and third quarter was painful to watch.
Was it? So did they have they had 11 turnovers in the first half, right?
And we finished with 17.
So they clearly made some adjustments, got their stuff together, and stopped turning the ball over as much. That first half was rough. That first half was not good. I unfortunately or fortunately didn't get to see any of it. But it was not just based on kind of the Twitter timeline and the stats. It was ugly first half. You can't do that in the NBA. You can't come out and have those kinds of quarters where you are that flat and that ugly that quickly.
Because that was New Orleans last night. You come out that flat against the Spurs, who we're going to talk about here in a minute, or against some of these the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Magic, any of these good teams, the Knicks, they will lap your ass before halftime. We got lucky that happened against the Pelicans last night. And again, I'm not going to berate it too much because we won. I'm not trying to be a buzzkill, but this is also to kind of help temper some of those. Omax is super great. Cedric is going to be Kawhi Leonard and all these talks. We finished that game really, really strong, and it got better. We made halftime adjustments that actually worked because last year we make halftime adjustments and then we'd give up 51 points in the third quarter and score 26, right? And just get blown out. So it's nice to see things that progressed and got better, but we've got to work on starting strong. That's not something we've done in a long time. How many times have we watched the Grizzlies come out, within the first 5 minutes, we're going to lose this game because the energy's bad. We fixed it last night, but this is a reminder to pump the brakes. It's game 1, and in 48 minutes, there was about 20 to 22 minutes that were not good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was paying attention to the timeline when in the first half, and I saw, we might actually suck. We might not be good. We might be this. We might be that. It is a 48-minute game, and it is an 82-game season. And so I'm not a fan of overreacting to a 5-minute stretch of stuff, but I get why people reacted that way because it didn't look good. It didn't look like it was what we come to expect with the Jaren and Ja starting lineup. But again, like you said, it's clear adjustments were made. And Isolo did. I loved what he did in that third and fourth quarter where he allowed guys to play that normally you wouldn't think would be guys that would contribute first game of the year in crunch time. I really appreciated that.
I didn't have Omax hitting multiple free throws in the fourth quarter,
right?
Logging 15 minutes last night. Omax and Santi were the first 2 off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, that we needed length, we needed athleticism. That probably played into part of that, but they were the first 2 off the bench. Your leading minute getters were KCP at 31, Ja 29, Jalen, Jaren, Jock, Santi, and then Cedric Howard.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be, we'll add Zach Edey back into that and replace Jock with Zach Edey when he's healthy. But that's going to be your playoff rotation. If the season ended today, that's what it would be, is those guys getting the big minutes.
All right. Help me understand. And this is kind of off topic, but help me understand. I've seen multiple reactions to Santi Aldama's game last night. Some were saying, "Oh my God." Some were saying he was great. What is the the Dr. Bucket's Uncle Bucket, Uncle Bucket, the Rusty Bucket's response to Santi Aldama? Like, how did he? What were your thoughts on it?
So, RIP to the legendary NFL coach Dennis Green. And we're going to paraphrase him: "Is Santi is who we thought he was?
Oh no,
he is going to get like there was a possession where he had like a double block, and one of them was on Zion, double block. There was a block late, in the game, and he played great, brother. He was a revolving door in the second and third quarter. Like I could have got buckets on him last night. He was so bad, but like that's the Santi Aldama experience. It's exactly what it was last year, absolutely." But then Jared brings up the point I was about to say. He was so bad, but then when Jaren fouled out, he was a monster to finish the game. He had multiple big rebounds at the end, a big block with under 2 minutes to go to kind of help like get some momentum and keep the momentum for the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And so it's the Santi Aldama experience. He was inconsistent as hell last night. And it's just like he was last year. He finished with 5 points. He was a +9, 0 for 3 from 3. But Kenny, I would, as my other co-host, Uncle Buck and Charles Barkley would say, I will guarantee in one of the next 2 games, he's going to go 5 for 5 from 3. Guarantee
oh, absolutely. It might be Friday. It might be tomorrow. It might be tomorrow night. That's the beauty of NBA role players, right?
That's it.
Sometimes you get what you get, and sometimes it blows up and it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like that. And so
That's it.
maybe that's where it's our expectations of what Santi looks like that needs to change. Like you're gonna get those ebbs and flows, right?
And that's where I'm going to be at for the rest of the year on Santi. He's a role player. I don't care. Like go out, get us 18 points. Go. Get out of the way. Whatever. Like I get it, and he's coming. I'm telling you. Like there's going to be a world where Omax and Cedric Coward can render Santi Aldama irrelevant and redundant, and he becomes a incredible trade piece with that contract that he has.
Right.
But this is game 1, right?
Yeah.
Like we got a lot of basketball between now and then. I think that Santi is going to be a big time contributor on this team. I think he's going to have some great games where he gets us 21, 24 points and 10 boards. And there's going to be nights like last night in the first half where I'm ready to send his ass back to Spain.
I'm dying at Wayno. I'm dying at Wayno.
He's dying. He's sweating right now.
He is about to throw the computer through a wall right now. Whatever he's watching this show on, he is about to throw through a wall.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, man. Like Wayno, I get it. Like we'd love to see a little bit more consistency.
But he's a role player, man.
But he's a role player. Like he's gonna go fire one game and is not the next. Like it is.
That's it. As he's covering his ears.
By the way, that art piece that Wayno has on his YouTube,
it's amazing.
I eat Drew Gans for breakfast is
amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. I love it.
If you're listening to this audio, Wayno is one of our favorite people in all the world. He's one of our guys all the way over in Australia. Just a great guy. He's a fantastic artist. His YouTube picture or AVI, whatever it's called, is a caricature of Zach Edey holding Drew Gan in his hands
as a chicken leg
and saying, I eat Drew Gans for breakfast. That is phenomenal.
I love it. It's amazing. And last thing about the Grizzlies before I do want to touch on another game last night. Let's see, not that one, this one. Javon Small was solid as a backup point guard last night.
Hey, man. Javon Small is a solid ball player.
That's a hooper.
Yeah, he's good.
That's a hooper. He had 19 minutes last night. He was +6, 3 assists, 1 block, no points. But, like, I don't need that. I need him to come in and facilitate, and that's what he did. Javon Small is a hooper.
I really like Javon Small. My vision casting for Javon Small is almost complete at this point. Like what I think he can become for this Grizzlies team. I really like what he does out there because he's also real physical on defense. Like he's
real fit. He's a West Virginia basketball player. Like that's what you need. Like those old Bob Huggins teams before he got weird, where they would start defending you when you got off the bus. Like that's Javon Small, and we got us one there. So
absolutely.
But Kenny, I do want to talk about another game last night. We got a problem. We got a problem in Texas. We got a Wemby problem in Texas. 125-92. The San Antonio Spurs beat the Mavericks. Oh, by the way, the Grizzlies did cover on FanDuel, and the Spurs also covered on FanDuel last night. 125-92. Wemby had 40 points, 15 boards, and 4 stocks. Like, He's got a crossover game where he had that. They had that transition where he blocked his shot, got down the court, got the ball, crossed up, step back three at the top of the key with the foul for the 4-point play. Like, I don't like how much time he spent with Kevin Garnett and Hakeem Olajuwon and the Shaolin monks this summer. I don't care for that, Kenny, at all, because we have a Wemby problem.
So what is it? A guy who's got the footwork and the intensity of a Kevin Garnett and a Hakeem Olajuwon.
God.
Who is also a Buddhist monk alien. Like, is this like the end of basketball as we know it?
I mean, it's got to be. Like, go watch the tape. I watched some of the highlights this morning while I was on the treadmill warming up at the gym. Like, watched a lot of Wemby from last night. Like, he is every bit of 7'7" that they say he is, but he plays like he's 15 feet tall and 15 feet wide because he makes every shot. Like, he blocked so many Cooper Flag and other shots last night. I think he finished with he had 3 blocks and 1 steal last night, but just altering shots, getting in the way. And Cooper Flag he was bad in the first half, finished with 10 points, 10 boards, shot 30% from the field. Not a great debut for the Rook. Second half got better, but it's because he's playing a freaking alien. And what Victor Wembanyama is doing, like, no hyperbole, could change the game of basketball. Just the way he's able to move and dribble and get up and down the court on both ends. Like, we're talking about a guy who has potential to be like a multi-MVP, multi-defensive player of the year for years and years to come. Because the guy's, 20 years old?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
like
young. Let me see.
Goodness.
I was really confused by, we talked about this stat or this he's 21 years old, bro. That's crazy.
21 years old.
Yeah. I was out of college when he was born.
Yeah.
God, I'm old. We were talking about this show yesterday, or talking about this game yesterday on the $2 show. And I was really confused why the lines had Dallas as the favorite. Like, I didn't understand. I was really confused by that. I am as impressed with. I think this Spurs team is going to be good. Like, I really do.
Stephon Castle is a problem.
Like, I mean, look at this.
Be good.
Yeah, like, I was looking at the box score. This stat line for Stephon Castle: 8 of 12 from the field, 1 for 3 from threes, 5 of 10. Bad free throw shooting night, but he had 22 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds. He did have 5 turnovers. That's relatively typical for youth, I guess. But
plus 24.
Plus 24. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah. Like, I know folks are still kind of saying pump the brakes on San Antonio, and maybe we should. No. But they're really good, man. They're really good.
But they don't have De'Aaron Fox yet. Like, Fox isn't back yet. He's still hurt. Like, you're getting a ton of minutes from Stephon Castle. Dylan Harper looked good in his debut last night. Had 15 points, 1 of 2 from 3. He had 4 rebounds. They've got some good rebounding guards. Vassell had 4 boards. Stephon Castle had 6. Dylan Harper had 4. Like, that's a good rebounding guard team. And then, like, they're so young. Like, these guys, this team is so young. Stephon Castle, 2nd year. Devin Vassell, 2nd, 3rd year. Wemby, 21 years old. And then they got a savvy vet in Harrison Barnes. I forgot they got Kelly Olynyk out of Utah. Like, he's there as a savvy vet. Like, this team on FanDuel, I created a parlay yesterday before we played. And I took the Grizzlies to hit the over. I hit the Spurs to hit the over. I took the Clippers and the Lakers to hit the under. And the Clippers only just went out and just boo-booed to the bed last night against the Jazz. God. And I took the Magic to hit the over because I believe in this Spurs team. I believe in this team. Like, they are really good and going to be very dangerous this year. They're going to go through growing pains because they are so young, but they're also going to be a scary team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sit here and hear me say I think they're championship contenders. I don't know I don't think they are right now. I think youth tells me they're not ready yet. But they're going to be tough, and they're going to be a team that grows and grows and grows this year.
You know, everybody says that, like, youth is there, you know, whatever, and the history says that, right? Like, the experienced, savvy teams win in the playoffs until there's that one team that does, and that was last year. Oklahoma City, no experience. They were young. They had nothing. They can't win it all. You know, Chris Vernon, famous from Ground City Media, was on the ringer, all like just like can't do it, can't win, and then until they did.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying the Spurs going to be this year's Thunder, but I'm just saying don't count them out.
Yep.
Just because they're young.
Yeah, just because they're young, they've got an alien on their team, a
guy that
Shaolin Buddhist monk alien. Like,
Then
come
what
on,
can
man.
you do, right? What can you do? But we've got 2 games tonight: Thunder, Pacers, Nuggets, Warriors. Before we play again tomorrow night, hosting the Miami Heat. They come to town. The Heat went toe to toe with the Magic. Had a really good game last night. Like Jared said this to me, you and Drew. ESPN quietly removes the ESPN Bet logo, but the best one I saw was in Chauncey Billups' post game last night. He said, "Let the chips fall where they may."
Chauncey, do you think he knew? You think he knew he was about to get arrested? That's crazy.
I don't know. I feel like if you're about to be arrested by the FBI, you got an idea.
You got an idea. Your lawyers probably know. They probably know, hey, bro, it's coming. Yeah.
Yeah. The last game I want to talk about before we get out of here, Kenny, real quick. In the East, the Hawks were supposed to be one of those darling teams with what they did, right? They're going to be so good this year, and I still think they are. Jalen Johnson had 22 and 7 last night.
Yep.
But they got taken to the woodshed by the Raptors last night.
Damn.
Absolute woodshed. Scotty Barnes finished with 22, 6 and 9. This game was not close. They ended up winning by 20. I think they were up by over 30 at one point, just pummeling Atlanta. You got 16 from BI, 25 from RJ Barrett, 22 from Scotty Barnes. You got 21 and 9 off the bench, or 21 and 5 off the bench from Grady Dick.
Damn.
Right? Just an absolute beatdown. If the Raptors can stay healthy, they've got some dudes, man. They just injuries have bit them the last few years, but they've got some dudes on that team.
Yeah, no, I mean, you look at, I fully expected with, the Atlanta Hawks having Kristaps Porzingis and Trae Young to be like, oh, you look up and one of those guys is out for the first game, right? That's why the score was what it was. But everybody played for them. All of their main rotation guys played. Luke Kennard went 1 for 5 from the 3.
He shot 5. He shot 5.
Hey, Luke Kennard had 6 points and was a minus 16 in 30 minutes, bro.
He's cardio Kennard, baby. He hadn't changed.
Oh,
amazing.
Man. Hey, Atlanta Hawks fans, we told you that this is
listen, I went on an Atlanta Hawks podcast and they asked me, what is Luke Kennard going to do? And I told them, I warned them.
You broke their hearts, bro.
I did. They were
called
so hyped.
Dude, we got Luke Kennard. What do you think? He's one of the greatest 3-point shooters ever. And you were like, bro, let me burst y'all's bubble real quick.
I just sat here real respectfully right here in this chair and just nodded while they were going on and on about 43% from 3 and all-time shooter and all this. Like, what was he like in Memphis? I was like, he don't shoot. I gave him that was on the heels of Drew and I doing our some of our exit interview shows and whatnot. I gave Luke Kennard the Fitbit award because all he did was go out there and wear out his Fitbit. And so 1 of 5, at least you got 5 from him last night. He won't shoot 5 over the course of the next 2 weeks combined.
Exactly.
Almost guarantee it.
Exactly. But no, I'm really interested to see what this Toronto Raptors team looks like. They obviously, getting Brandon Ingram over there. I like Brandon. I know a lot of Grizzlies fans wanted him for the Grizzlies. I was never that guy.
No.
Like
I like him, but I didn't want him on our team.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at their lineup, man. Like Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Jacob Hurtle, and Emmanuel Quickly are their starting lineup. That has a recipe for when it's going well, it's going to go well, and when it goes bad, it's going to go very bad.
Real sideways. They're going to be a streaky team, but one I'm going to keep an eye on for sure.
Wait, Ingraham? No, it's not. Oh, Jared said, "Is it not Ingraham?" No, it's Ingram.
No. Yeah.
Sometimes that H is silent, boys. But when it's good, Scotty Barnes is one of those guys that over the last few years has been getting a lot of love, like nationally, and like he's the next guy, this kind of stuff. I just don't see it, man. Like I don't know.
Either.
I mean, he's a good player, but I don't see it.
But he was in like MIP conversation and all this kind of stuth, and I'm like, I like Scotty Barnes. I just don't know that he's going to be that type player, but who might be that type player. Did you see Maxey and VJ Edgecombe for the Sixers last night?
Dude, I just remember last year everybody talking about this draft being, man, it's just not very good, right?
I remember that as well. Yeah.
Bro, this draft has got some studs in it. VJ Edgecombe, I'm looking forward to watching a Philadelphia 76ers game because I've seen like the stats jump off the page to you. But like if VJ Edgecombe is better than or faster, more physical than than my guy from San Antonio, Dylan
Harper.
Dylan Harper. I love Dylan Harper.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of Dylan Harper, Jeremiah Fears, and VJ Edgecombe. Jeremiah Fears was the guy that I was like, he's good, but he's not at those two guys' level. Bro, Jeremiah Fears is really good.
He is good. I was wrong about him. I'll own that right here in front of God and everybody. I thought he was going to be undersized, but he is going to be a player in this league. I think Jared's right. We're going to look back and be like, this was one of those drafts that was deeper, because they talked about it was top heavy, and then there were some decent role players that were going to be in it, right?
Right.
But like VJ Edgecombe, 34 points, 7 boards, 3 assists. He shot 50% from the field last night, 5 of 13 from 3. To go on with Tyrese Maxey's 40 burger last night. They beat the Celtics. Like, VJ Edgecombe won me over on draft night, because like of all the NBA players I've seen drafted in a long time, like it truly looked like it meant something to him from what he's come from.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I hate the Sixers because of all the crap that goes on around them, but I'm going to root and watch Edgecombe. And that dude just hooped last night.
Yeah.
Couldn't miss.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how long the Joel Embiid situation lasts for them. Obviously, we're probably not going to see Paul George for a long time with them, but Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe could potentially be a pretty nasty backcourt, but it all kind of rises and falls on Joel Embiid. And I remember very specifically last year them saying his knees are shot. Well, it's not good to be a 7'3", 7'2", 300-pounder and not have any knees and try to play in the NBA. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do.
I'm 6'5", 260, and I've got 2 bad knees. It's bad enough on me. I can't imagine being that guy.
Bro, I try to do some squats right now, and I'm like, I got to warm my knees up for a while. Like, I couldn't imagine playing NBA basketball. Like,
I'm in the middle of doing Squat-tober. I squat every day for the month of October. It's this thing that this company, Sornex, puts on. And, like, I get there to the gym, I do my warm-up, I get going, but it's like 5 minutes of me trying to like get the depth of the squats down between my knees and hips, just creaking and aching. And I'm like, man, I can't imagine what Joel Embiid's going through at 7 foot forever.
With that amount of weight on him, man.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Kenny, man, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Thanks for all those in the comments. It was popping off. It's a fun day to talk hoops, talk Grizz, talk NBA at large. That's going to do it for our show today, man. I appreciate it again, Kenny. Thank you for stepping in and filling in for Drew.
Of course.
Drew will be back tomorrow, Friday. We're going to pick against the FanDuel spread. It's FanDuel Football Fridays. We do it every Friday. We'll talk about our Grizz poll tomorrow and get you ready for the Grizz taking on the Miami Heat tomorrow night. But in the meantime, y'all go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the $2 Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.